Hello, you guys. How are you? I've been very MIA. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know where to start this video. I don't know how to communicate. I don't know where to start. Where have I been? Why haven't I uploaded? Are you okay? I've seen your guys' comments when I haven't posted. I don't really know where to start the update. So clearly I haven't posted, and there's a couple reasons for that. And I'm gonna say right now that they sound like excuses because they kind of are. But if you know, you know, So, I haven't uploaded since Christmas time, and long story short, I did film, and I never uploaded those videos because I just didn't feel motivated, and I was dealing with a whole bunch of other stress in my life, a whole bunch of private stuff that just really took away from everything else going on. So I didn't post, and honestly, I don't regret it because clearly the universe had something else, had other plans, and that's fine. And then last week, my actual phone, because I filmed my phone, got stolen out of my pocket at the Nike store. Talked about it on Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram than I am on YouTube or any other social media. So just follow me on Instagram. I'll link it somewhere here. It's down below. I had my phone stolen out of my pocket at the Nike store, and that phone had a whole bunch of pictures, which I cannot get back anymore, unfortunately, because my iCloud was full. Had 2 videos on there. So when I said I was going to film, or when I said I was going to edit and upload, I never did, just for other reasons I just told you. So those videos are gone. And ever since a couple years ago, and I had to take down the videos of like what I got for Christmas and all of that, I haven't felt motivated every year to do those videos. I enjoy doing it, but I just haven't had as much inspiration to do those videos. So I don't know if I will next year or not. You never know where I'll be in a year. But anyways, so that's why I haven't uploaded in 2 months for that reasons, because I had pre-recorded. The next thing is college and placement has been taking up all of my time, and then any time that I have off, I am focused on Leslie or running errands or household things I need to do. Let's get into it, I guess. Okay, so at the beginning of January, the second weekend, I believe, I took a trip. I took 48 hours to myself. I actually booked myself a hotel, and I got myself a nice bottle of wine, like a $25 bottle of wine, just for myself. And I got a hotel room, and I spent 48 hours by myself. And I've always wanted to do it. So then when I had the opportunity, I really just took the plunge and I did it. And I really focused on my anxiety, my mental health, worked through a lot of the feelings, emotions, and I cried a lot. I took long baths. I binge watched shows. I ate good food. I was really focused on how I was feeling in the moment, and I embraced those feelings and worked through them, because I had moments of mom guilt where I was like, why did I take the weekend away from Leslie? Like, I should have invited her, and all these things. And I really just had to work through it and be like, no, you're doing this for yourself. And then I had feelings of being lonely. I did cry a lot. And then I had feelings of anxiety and late night anxiety that involves like break-ins and stuff. And I don't know why I've always had that. Like, I have 3 locks on my door. So I also had to work through that. Then I had to work through social anxiety, even to just check into the hotel and check out. Like, my anxiety was really bad. And then at one point I had to switch rooms because the first room I got had a shower and not a bath. And that's such a first world problem. And I'm very well aware of that. But I went there because I wanted to take long, hot baths. So I had to switch rooms, and my anxiety could not do it. But I did it anyway. I called my sister and I was like, is this normal? Is this okay to ask? It all worked out in my favor, clearly, because I said I took hot long baths. But that weekend, I really sat in my feelings and I acknowledged the people that I was putting a lot of effort into and it wasn't getting reciprocated. And that's really when I cut all of the, I'm not even going to say toxic, but the one-sided relationships out of my life. And I really put into perspective my anxiety. And from there, it was really, really good up until the second week into my placement. And then my body started to go into defense mode while I was there. And I'm still at the same placement. So my body's been in defense mode 3 days a week, constantly just like guards up, anxious, like just hyper focused on making sure I'm doing everything right and everything correctly. And I got my midterm review back and I'm doing everything great. But it's the personal aspect of how it is there that's really hard for me to work through and adjust. So that's been hard on me. And then when I go into stores and stuff, like my anxiety's been better. There was one time my anxiety was really, really bad. I don't know if it was before the weekend they took away or after, but my anxiety was so bad to the point I could hear my heartbeat in my ears and my feet. And it sounds crazy, but if you have anxiety, you have social anxiety, you know. So I had to talk myself through that. And I was really proud of myself for doing that. And I talked about that on my Instagram. And then, yeah, so I've had to deal with that. Another thing is I've been really, because I haven't had any time to focus on really anything, like it's just 24-hour stress with school and placement and making sure my assignments are done on time and then dealing with like making sure I'm meal prepping so I have time to eat in the morning before I go to placement and, you know, making sure Leslie's everything. I'm spending time with her because the first 2 weeks I was in placement, it was really, really hard on her to adjust to mommy going, she knows that as work, because it's hard to explain to a 5-year-old, oh, I'm going to placement. Like, she doesn't really understand that, so I just say I'm going to work. So if you hear me saying work, it's really just school placement. But anyways, it was really hard for her to adjust, like, mommy's going to work and I can't pick her from school 3 days a week. My therapist, when I was talking to her about this before, is really good for her to acknowledge that other people do make the rules and she does have to follow them when mommy's not there, and for her to, like, just a whole bunch of things. So it's been a positive now that she's used to mommy going to placement, but it was a hard adjustment at first, which was really heavy on me. And there was a few times at placement where I went to the bathroom and I literally bawled my eyes out for a minute, and then I waited to wipe my tears and I put on a brave face and I went back out there. That's really hard as a parent to be away from your kid when you're not used to it. And I know it's like stereotypical, like, oh, you have to like work a 9 to 5 to pay your bills. But to me, I've always said like my happiness is really important to me. And I'll always find out another way to make money and all these things. But my happiness and being there for my child is my first priority. So that was really hard reality for me. And it definitely put my goals after school into more perspective of what I really want to do and focus my time on. So that was kind of like a reassuring feeling. What else has been happening? By getting a new phone, because my phone was stolen, that costed a lot of money. And I know I'm very honest about like money and expenses. Like in the summer when I was cleaning out my car and Leslie cracked my windshield with her head, because I'm just gonna, fun fact, it's like an egg. So when you squeeze an egg like this, it won't break. But when you squeeze it from the side, it cracks really easily. It's kind of like windshield. From the outside, really strong. From the inside, not strong. So I've always been very honest with expenses when my car broke down, how much that is. Because that's just reality of being a young mom, being a young adult. Like, shit comes up that you're not expecting. So that was real shit, to be honest. So yeah, I've just been really stressed with college. You know, Mondays and Tuesdays are full of schoolwork all damn day, and big assignments and tests and exams and all this. And switching my college break week, which was supposed to be mental health week, when I most need it, I have to switch it for March break, and then on March break I have to make up a day because of the snow day, because I had to be home with Leslie because I couldn't find a babysitter. It's a lot, and it's definitely a stressful life I'm living for right now. And in April, when this semester of school is done and I finish my first year of college, I'm really gonna go head first into, getting back into YouTube, social media, starting up my small biz, and all of that stuff, because I'm really motivated to do that. It's just right now I wouldn't be able to give it 110%, and I really want to give my 110%. Another thing is kind of what I got into earlier, but I haven't had time for anything at all for myself. So I've been I actually bought a new program, and it's 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And I've been doing that. When it's literally just 20 minutes focused on myself. I do it after Leslie goes to bed. I take pre-workout, and I have like only a lamp on in my room, and I just do it in my bedroom. And it's really helped for me to sleep better, because my anxiety has been so bad the days or nights before I go to placement that I can't sleep. So for me to work out, I at least get like a few hours of really good sleep, because my muscles are fatigued. So yeah, that's been really helpful, and physically I felt more confident, which just gives me overall a little bit more confidence when mentally I feel very worn and not as strong. So to physically feel strong makes me feel better. Anyways, I know this was a very long tangent video, but I just wanted to update you guys on what's been happening, where I've been at. I don't foresee me posting too much until April. And like I said, follow me on Instagram, because that's where I'm more present and we can chit chat on there, and I'm not present more on my feed. Like I said, I don't even have time to take content photos. Like, it's insane, you guys. I knew college was going to be busy and chaotic and all these things, but I didn't think a 2-year program would be so stressful. But because it's so short, there's so much information, and just trying to get hands-on experience as much as possible, like squeezed into such a time frame, that it's really hard. Full-time college is hard for just a normal person, let alone incorporating motherhood, running a household, having adult responsibilities, and everything else that comes with those things. Being a mother is a full-time job, college full-time is a full-time job. Like, it's a lot. And then going to placement 3 days a week and being away from your child, it's really hard. I know it's only like 3 hours after Leslie's done school, but the entire time, from the time I know she gets out of school to the time I get home, it's extremely hard for me, and it weighs really heavy on me every single day. So it's another thing that I have to work through and just try to figure out what's best for me and her for the future. So yeah, I know this video was kind of everywhere and it was a lot, but yeah, you guys have been asking where I was and how I've been, so I just thought I would let you guys know, fill you guys in. But if I don't see you till April, no, I will be back. Probably like the second or third week into April, I'll upload again. But yeah, I hope you guys stick around though, because I know this is a crazy ride, but it's my journey and I want to be as real as possible with you guys and put time and priority into what is important. And social media is not the most important thing. Setting up mine and Leslie's future and making sure that I'm doing my best to the things that are in front of me and to my priorities is what's important. But yeah, anyways, I love you guys and I'll see you hopefully soon, but I'll see you guys soon.